Hello, everyone. It's time to eat, drink, and be merry with your hosts, Lisa and Nancy.
Welcome to Big Blend Radio's Eat, Drink, and Be Merry show. It is happy hour with Nancy Reed and Lisa Smith. We're the mother-daughter travel team and publishers of Big Blend Radio and TV magazine, as well as Parks and Travel magazine. You can see them both at bigblendmagazines.com. So, Nancy, we love happy hour.
There's a lot of them.
Apparently, there was a big happy hour in Newport Beach, beautiful Orange County, California.
Cool.
It was the second annual Pacific Food and Wine Classic. It was held this past August 2018. And you know our wonderful travel food wine writer, Linda Kissam, the food, wine, and shopping diva. She's the president of the International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association. And Diva Linda and a crew, well, she says we must cover this. You know, when she says something's diva approved.
Yes, when diva speaks, we listen.
Yes, and so she brought this special event to our attention, being that it's diva worthy. And what's great is we've got a whole bunch of crew from the International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association involved with this. Los Angeles-based food wine writer Mary Farah, we call her Something About Mary. She wrote an article about the event, and you can see that up on blendradioandtv.com. It'll also be featured in the November through January issue of Big Blend Radio and TV magazine. Mary's a publisher of the blog alongcomesmaryblog.com. So she wrote about this, and it seems like she had a good time, and she met some of our special guests joining us today. I do want to give everybody the website for this event. It's pacificwineandfood.com. I'm also going to give a shout out to Tom Plant and Roger Page for sending us some amazing photos. I'm just jealous that we weren't there.
It looks like fun.
I know, and looks delicious. So the first guest joining us is Lorena Lopez, and I want to call her Lo because she is the publisher of the blog Traveling Solo, and that's S-O-U-L. She's got soul, and she likes to travel solo. So it's travelingsolo.com. And she's with the International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association as well. So, Lo, how are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I love the intro, by the way. That's like the best intro I've ever had. So thank you.
There you go.
Well, it's exciting. And I know, aren't you starting a podcast as well?
Yes, it's called Champagne and Champions. So, you know, in the case of, it will be some guests that are not necessarily drinking champagne. It might be just wine and food, but champagne means more of a celebratory symbol, and bringing on people that are discussing their lives that kind of, I don't know, I guess told the status quo to go kick rocks. So we like rebels. So we want to share those stories and let you know that you can be successful and happy without living like the 9-to-5 typical lifestyle. So I'm definitely bringing those kind of guests on.
I like that. I like that a lot. And we should have done this on our Champagne Sunday show because we do drink champagne or sometimes Prosecco. It's just got to have and it's a celebration of everything that week. We look at the week or the present moment and just remember there's always something good. And so you can celebrate with tea, coffee, chocolate, whatever you want. It's really about taking that moment out. And so that's what we do on our shows. That's how our show got started. Was by drinking champagne. We said if we're going to do a podcast and talk, then we might as well have bubbles so we're nice. But good luck with that. This is awesome, and I love it because it ties into your blog as well. I've been looking at that, and everyone, Traveling Soul, SOULO.com. Go check it out because I really like it that you talk about traveling solo at something, especially as women, that we tend to not necessarily do, and I find it very empowering to get out there sometimes on your own, even at a restaurant by yourself, hiking by yourself. I find that you see things in a different perspective, and often you'll see more, you know, when you're out there on your own.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That was the purpose of this blog, is to inspire women to pamper themselves and get out there and not wait for their friends, family, significant others to get out and enjoy the world. I think a lot of times we do that. We wait to plan a trip, and we're like, okay, so-and-so can't go until this month. And I just sort of realized, as the cliche is, life is way too short and we have to do these things now. And what better company to have than your own? And if you can enjoy your own company, then that's the best relationship you can be in. So why not go by yourself somewhere and enjoy that?
Hey, right on, right on. Now, Nancy, you've done some travel solo, and both of us have done it. We travel together, but we go off on our own things. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I'm going to go do this over here. You do that. We'll come back. Then we have wine and discuss.
Yeah, I love it. But it's true. You guys tend to meet great people. You get to meet great people maybe that you wouldn't have met if you were in the comfort of, your friends or family with you. You tend to meet different people. So that's a beautiful thing, to be that vulnerable and open. Yeah.
Now, I know that you met some of our special guests here, two of them. And we're talking about wine. We've got to bring Patrick on. Patrick, Merrell, and his sister are the founders of this amazing wine company called WeBelieveWines.com. Also an inspiring message behind their wines and their company. And welcome, Patrick. How are you?
Well, thank you, Lisa, Nancy, and Lorena. It was great meeting Lorena at the Pacific Food and Wine, and really excited to join you guys today and talk a little bit about our wines and our story, and also connect here with Chef Linda as well.
Yes, let's bring Chef Linda on. Chef Linda Johnsen is the owner and executive chef of Filomena's Italian Kitchen and Market in Costa Mesa. Now, did I say that correctly? Do I need an Italian lesson here?
No, you said it perfectly. Filomena's Italian Kitchen and Market.
Okay, so it's a market as well, and everyone, you can go to her website, Filomena OC for Orange County, FilomenaOC.com, and have a look there.
It's FilomenasOC.com.
Yeah, FilomenasOC.com. You got it.
Right.
You got it. There you go. Get it, everyone. And so you were also at this amazing event. Now, I think that's what's really neat about these events, is it's a reason for people to get out and maybe experience something that they keep going, oh, I've been meaning to go to Filomena's, and oh, I've been wondering what that wine tastes like that I saw in the local wine shop. And so it gets people out to try things, but I also think it's important also for you as companies to go out there and also for travelers like Lo over here. So I would go back to Lorena here with these events going solo. Do you tend to talk to everybody a little bit more at the different booths?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like when I went to the Pacific Wine and Food Classic, going for the International Food Wine Travel Writers Association, you're going there to speak to chefs, winemakers, and, cocktail makers to get the story behind like their craft. But I just was blown away with this event in that it was far beyond just what they make with food. They had these really inspirational stories. So you get out there and you're there to do a job, but I found it was beyond that. It was just so much more. When you travel by yourself, a lot of times you are vulnerable to other people. You're kind of depending on the kindness of strangers. And when you travel with someone else, it's different. Like I was telling you, you tend to speak to the person next to you and not be so open to speak to other people. But because I was at this event alone, I kind of wanted to showcase the fact that you could go to something like this alone and just talk to people, get their stories, and it just not being, here's a sample of our food, here's a sample of our wine, enjoy, goodbye. It was, taking the time. No one's rushing you to leave. You're there to speak to these people, get their stories, and I was just completely blown away by the event. And that's why I wanted to showcase that to my readers, that this is an ideal event to go solo because everybody's there enjoying themselves, and you're going to make friends along the way. Like I met several people, not just the chefs and winemakers, but just people just enjoying themselves, and getting to talk to them was incredible. But the fact that there is nobody telling you, okay, let's go, it's time to go. Like it was a perfect opportunity to sit and take your time and talk to people about their passion and zeal for life. So that's why I thought this event was perfect for solo travelers.
And I know you've written about it also on your blog, and I'm excited because, Patrick, your company has an amazing story and mission, and so do you, Chef Johnsen. Just a really good stories that I want to get our listeners to know about you. Patrick, tell us about the wines. What led you to say, okay, we're going to now have wine. We're going to make wine. I know that you source your grapes from the amazing Russian River Valley and Sonoma County, two of our favorite areas. I want to go on a trip now and drink wine and go sit by the rivers and play with the redwoods. What led you to the wine world?
Yeah, so my background is printing and marketing. I've been in the industry for over 20 years. That's pretty much my day job. And I was led, I do a lot in the wine and spirits space, and I was led from first of all, with sporting events, people chanting, we believe we will win, we believe we will win. And it kind of resonated with me a little bit and said, we believe is a powerful word. And I would love to start a wine label with we believe on it and build the story around one of my close friends and his story and what he did for the Special Forces community. Is a guy named Aaron Anderson, who basically, after 9/11, dropped out of college, enlisted in the military, and joined the Army and became a Green Beret. Well, in 2006, he was blown up in Afghanistan, lost two of his comrades with an IED, and almost was killed, but almost lost both of his legs, and was in Walter Reed for 10 months rehabbing. Oh. They were able to salvage his legs, and he got out, and he said, you know what? The government was great, but we need to start a foundation specifically for Green Berets and the Special Forces. And so he started the Green Beret Foundation, and it's basically founded by and run by Green Berets. And I said, Aaron, I would love to have this wine be a partnership with you guys, and we give back significant revenue to you guys and every bottle sold. And I would love to just support all channels of military through events and donate our wine and just kind of bring recognition to what you guys do. And, and so that's kind of how the wine label was created. And then Aaron suggested that we also get the SEALs involved. So we had a similar organization called the SEAL Legacy Foundation that we brought in as a partner as well. And so we give back $1 a bottle to both of those organizations on every bottle sold.
Nice.
And it's
that
all.
Is I love that. I love that. And I think that is such a, there's a thing that we need to look at. There's consciousness in businesses now, whether it's, social, if it's for people, if it's for, wildlife, what everyone should be doing something that they believe in supporting others. And I think that's the way a business should be started, quite frankly, it that way, because it's not only the financial side that you're doing and helping, but you're also creating this awareness. And I think that is actually one of the most important parts of this whole plan that you have in this mission, is that you're telling people these stories and getting people to, hey, let me go look up these foundations. Why do we need these foundations? Who are they supporting? Oh, I didn't know that there was that kind of issue. So I think that that's important.
Definitely. No, it's just, bringing recognition. We're sitting there drinking wine and able to give back in the same way. So,
love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Chef Johnsen, let's talk about Filomena's, because this is interesting. You've been named one of the best top 10 Italian restaurants in Orange County and one of the 75 best places to eat in Orange County by the Orange County Register for the three consecutive years. And I know Orange County is not easy to get those accolades. You've got competition out there. Orange County, it's not called the OC for nothing. Yeah. so from reading your story, and then also Mary's article up on blendradioandtv.com, and also reading Lorena's blog post as well, it seems that you really bring authentic Italian, family Italian food to Orange County.
Well, we do, and I think one of the reasons that we're so successful as far as being having those accolades, which I'm very honored to have, is, we call it the Italian kitchen for a reason, and that is in everybody's home. Most of the time nowadays, we don't go into the family room or the living room and just sit and talk. We go into the kitchen, and kitchen makes moments with food. And I didn't want people just to think that they were coming into a restaurant. I wanted to let them know they were coming into my home. So that's why we call it the Italian kitchen. But the food that we make here is the same exact food that I grew up on and my children grew up on, and it's just made simple. We don't do small plates. We don't do small samplings. We give you a plate of spaghetti and meatballs with what we call our Sunday sauce, which has been cooked for 5 hours. So it has an incredible amount of flavor. So I think it's more about the passion that goes into not only the food, but creating that special moment for our guests as well with the food involved.
Celebration.
I know. I'm like looking at those menus. I'm like, And so you've got this this market as well, and that's something that your family grew up having, this kind of market to go to get fresh produce and spices and the different products for cooking.
Right. I grew up in Southern Philadelphia, South Philly, the big Italian section, and there's an Italian deli on every street corner. So we make our own pasta here. We're probably about a 95% scratch restaurant. So everything that we make in the restaurant, I'm sorry, I'm in the restaurant, you can hear, sorry. Everything we make in the restaurant is pretty much for sale in the market as well. You can come in and buy our Sunday sauce. You can come in and buy the fresh pastas. We have an on-site bakery where we make our own Italian cookies, cakes. We make our own olive oil, our own balsamic vinegar. So we have quite a bit of product in the market that you can purchase for takeout. And then, of course, you can always come into the restaurant and eat it. We even sell our pizza dough, which we've been ranked, I believe, the 4th best pizza in Orange County by the OC magazine. So,
well, that's it. We're coming out. That's it. You said pizza. We've got wine going on here. Like, hello.
And we have wine, yes.
Wine is important. That's like, that's the nectar of the gods, right? We all need that. So that's what did you serve at the Pacific Wine and Food Classic?
So I was in the VIP section, and I grew up on the South Jersey Shore as well. So I had a friend that used to be a clammer in that area, and he always would bring these big bags of clams around. So we made grilled clams. You just throw them on the grill, they pop open, and we have a little tray there next to it that has the butter and the garlic and the white wine in it, and we put them in that and we served those. But also, I made an appetizer a long time ago that just went over so well that I decided to share it with everybody at the Food and Wine. And what it is prosciutto, basil, wrapped around shrimp, and it's in a kind of like a mesquite or lime kind of marinade that we marinate overnight. And then we throw those on the grill and cook them until the shrimp is perfectly cooked and the prosciutto is a little bit crispy. But the basil is a whole leaf of basil. So when you bite into it, you get these incredible flavors, but then you get that freshness of this great piece of basil too. Ooh. And it seems to be the number one thing that people really like. And actually, I just did another event this past weekend, and they were asking, "Did you make the shrimp?" Like, no, I didn't make the shrimp again. So it was a lot of fun.
Patrick, get your Chardonnay out.
Sounds like we can pair all three of our varietals with Chef Linda's creations there.
Yeah, so you have Pinot Noir as well. So Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and then also Cab. You do a nice Cab as well.
Yeah, so we have a Russian River Chardonnay, a Russian River Pinot Noir, and a Sonoma County Cab. So we're on our side. Yeah. So
how important are these kinds of events for you, for people to be able to taste it? Because a lot of times you'll find wines in a wine shop. Sometimes you can taste, sometimes you can't. So is this a really good way for people to kind of hear this story personally and then, sip, savor, and say, okay, where can I buy it? Where's my local place to buy this?
Yeah. So, we just really want to get our story out. And once we kind of engage the consumer at these events and get to know them, similar to what our meeting Lorena, people are just blown away by the quality of our wines. So we're producing, all 90 point plus wines. Our Cab and Pinot just won gold medals at the Orange County Fair this year. And our Cabernet won Best Overall One at the Huntington Beach Food and Wine event earlier this year. And, so people are like, overwhelmed by the quality of the wines. And so, love our story and just what we're about. And, if we're going to partner with the great organizations, the Green Berets and Navy SEALs, we definitely want to have the best wine possible in the bottle. So I think we've got a great 1-2 punch here. So.
Yeah, nice. I think it's trifecta.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So.
Yeah.
It's like the trifecta. It's like great people. Yeah. It's like great people, fantastic wines, and a great cause. So.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Lorena, the event itself, right? The Pacific Wine and Food Classic is also a fundraiser. From what I was reading in Mary's article, that the proceeds from the event are donated to a charity each year, and this year it was the Golden Rule charity. So here's some more good stuff, right? I love this.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful event. Total. I mean, again, I don't know that people necessarily go to the event and know the whole background, but because as journalists we go there and we're researching and talking to these people, I think it's, it's twofold. It's great people, and then you have this incredible food and incredible drinks, but then they give back. So it really, again, it was just a mind-blowing event, and just meeting the wonderful people that you can just see the passion. And that's why I think it's like, I guess maybe the average person is wondering, like, why should I go to this event? Sure, it's great food, or maybe I should go to that restaurant. But it really was just, it changed for me what I thought. It was just my first time attending, and exactly why I'll go back, because the event puts together such, a melting pot of just food, drink, great people, and the fact that they give back is just, it's perfection to me.
The Golden Rule Charity is a nonprofit and based in Southern California, inspired by the hardworking restaurant employees who may find themselves in need of an emergency crisis grant, such as medical, food, shelter, and transportation. So it goes right back into restaurant employees, and I think right back into the industry, which is also really important, because a lot of times, it's forgotten. I know there's different organizations out there that help musicians, and the musicians will go play a benefit to help musicians. So I love that, because it gets people aware of the people that are making the food, who's doing the dishes, who's, crafting that and sweating behind that hot kitchen, because Chef Johnsen, it gets hot back there. I mean, that's the one thing. Cooking is, you gotta be strong to maintain that, speed, and to have that attention to detail in the kitchen, but also you got to handle the heat.
When it's 95 degrees outside, it's about 107 in the kitchen. And when we go to these charity events, because I do a lot of charity events, I probably do more than my share, but I'm big on helping in the community. We have to keep in mind too that we're doing these events because we are the small restaurants. We are the little mom and pops, and we can't afford to give our employees health benefits when you're that small. Believe me, that is my number one goal for my employees, is to be able to afford to give them the best quality of life outside of the restaurant for their families as well. So the Golden Rule, which Pam Waite, who is the president of our Orange County Restaurant Association, is very passionate about this charity, and I think I'm pretty sure all of us are so proud to be involved with that on her behalf.
It's when you think about these organizations, putting it with a nice event, it's great for the community, it's great for the restaurants, the winemakers, it's great for everybody, but it's also good for the destination. Doesn't this showcase Newport off like, hey, come and see our beautiful sunshine, we got wine, we got good food, we got beach. Nancy used to hang out in Newport all the time. That's your stomping ground.
I love it.
I know.
It's a nice place to go.
I know. I can hear the waves.
On the beach. Yeah, it's on the sand. And so it is a great event because it is right there on the water. And you've got those beautiful breezes coming. So it's not so hot that day. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't. It was not hot that day. And let me just tell you, enjoying Chef Linda's clams right as the breeze is blowing was heaven. Heaven.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. You're getting that, right from the ocean to the tummy. That's a good thing. We like that. We like that. Now, it is happy hour here. We like happy hour because who doesn't? Happy hour is good. I want to ask each of you our happy hour question because this is too much fun. So the question is, if you're going to spend happy hour with anyone, who would it be? Like, we're going to grant you a wish you could meet anybody you want in the world, whether they're here now or they've passed on to the next plane. Who would it be? Where are you spending that happy hour? What are you drinking? And we want the gossip because happy hours are really good for gossip. That's why when we travel, we always go to wherever we can, the neighborhood bar, and we sit at the bar so we can hear the gossip because it's fun.
And yes, it is.
Yes, let's start with you.
We call it research.
Chef Johnsen, let's start with you.
For me, so being the good South Philadelphia Catholic girl growing up there, there's one person that has always intrigued me, and I would have loved to have met her. And she happens to be my confirmation name, which is Teresa. So Sister St. Teresa is the one person that I would have really enjoyed sitting down, having a glass of wine with, and, probably anywhere where we could be around what her passion was, and that would be the children of Calcutta, or not with the children having wine, obviously, but just in those beautiful ancient areas that I've always wanted to visit. And I'll probably be drinking a great, the Abruzzo gosh, I can't even remember the way. I'm so nervous. I don't know why. Montepulciano. Sorry about that.
Oh, Montepulciano. That's such a good name.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah. Abruzzo, because I'm Abruzzo. So that would be the kind of wine that I really am attracted to and love. And talking about, she did so much charity, and she did so much for this world, and she was just a good person. And the times that we're living in right now, we don't see enough of that. And that inspired me so much. That's what I would like to talk about, is how do we get back to that place in our lives, even just in our own soul? How do we get back to that place? And I think she'd be a great person to sit down and have a glass of wine with.
What are you pairing it with? I know you got to have appetizers in that kitchen for this. Just thinking, we got to have some food. We got a chef on the show.
Oh my goodness! I think it depends on the time of the year. I mean, when you're in the early spring, you want something really light and beautiful. But for me, I would probably want maybe a great bruschetta with great tomatoes and basil and amazing cheeses from Italy. So maybe that's probably what I would be pairing some of the wines with, is something that's got really good flavor to it.
Do you feel like you're in a Mediterranean setting, being in Newport Beach and in Costa Mesa? I know you're out in Costa Mesa, but being out there, and especially at the Food and Wine Classic, I should say Wine and Food Classic, being out on the beach, did you feel like, hey, I'm part of, I feel like I'm in the Mediterranean zone?
I mean, you could try to relate it, but I mean, once you're in the Mediterranean and you're in Florenza, which is actually where I got engaged, or you're in Rome, or you're in Naples, and you see the landscape there. Of course, it's beautiful here, but I don't think anything beats Italy. It's just one of the most magical, beautiful places on earth, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, everyone has that sense of place, But I've always looked at Southern California because of the wine region, like Temecula, and looking at there's olive groves, and there's just, to me, in the hills and everything, it always seemed to me kind of Mediterranean. Well, California, the whole state, really, I should say.
We drove through Italy. We drove through parts of Italy, and just to see those wine grapes in people's backyards as you're driving the countryside, just small little, people just making their own wine. It's just absolutely beautiful. And when you get into Temecula, or you go into the Central Coast, or you go into Napa, you're seeing those same things. So I guess maybe in a way it does remind you of those areas. But it's a really beautiful, special place, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I guess you are right. When you get off the coast, it could remind you a little bit more. Of course, there in Italy, you get the coast and the vineyard. In some places here you do, but not often.
Yeah, no, this is neat. So now let's go over to you, Patrick. Who are you celebrating happy hour with?
Well, we're all about, we believe, faith, family, and freedom. And I would love to enjoy happy hour. My dad passed away suddenly 18 years ago, and would love what we're doing with our wine label right now. And so I would love nothing more to spend happy hour with him. And I was going to say fishing on a boat in Baja, where we used to go all the time when I was a young kid, but I think my dad would probably prefer hanging at Filomena's with Chef Linda. So he was a huge Italian food fan, and I think he would love to enjoy her great creations there. But we would definitely be pairing it with a We Believe cab, and he'd probably have a Jack on the Rocks to go with it. Jack on the Rocks.
I like that.
Yeah. So he was a big personality. So yeah.
Nice.
And we'd probably be talking about family, and my three daughters. Only one of them was able to know him when he was alive, and so I've had two other daughters that were born after. So we'd be talking about them and catching them up on that, and plenty of other things. So yeah.
Nice. It's good to catch up. Wine time, happy hours are good. I think they're important. They're important. Everyone needs to have happy hour, know?
Yeah.
And remember to breathe and communicate. And
it's a natural national pastime.
I know. Sip, swirl, and savor.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. I love that. Now, so Lorena, who are you spending happy hour with? Because now you can't be solo on this. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. No, that's
you
okay.
Could
I know
start
myself.
off solo. You could start off solo and end up hitched. You never know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I started traveling solo because of a best friend that I lost she was only 34 years old, and we lost her to breast cancer. So my very best friend, she was like a sister to me. We served in the Air Force together, so we were very close. I would absolutely love to have happy hour with her. And as a matter of fact, when she was going through chemo and everything, I moved from San Diego to Los Angeles to take care of her because her family was in Texas and they couldn't be there with her. So we actually started something called the Live Life Tour, where we explored a different restaurant or bar every day. So we actually did sort of experience happy hour daily together after I get off work. She was just like, you know what, life is short. Like, who cares? Let's just go and drink. So we would go and do that. And
there you go.
Food. Yeah. And, so I would absolutely, and I would, she loved, and I do as well, anything sort of north of Santa Barbara. So maybe like Big Sur. I know she loved that area, Monterey area, and just sit there and maybe just enjoy a nice glass of champagne.
Nice.
She was really easy, very inspirational, just very easy, the most easiest person, easygoing person that you could ever meet. And it's funny that Chef Johnsen was talking about Mother Teresa, because that's what they would call her. They called her name was Tanisha, but they called her Mother Tanisha because she was just so kind and very giving. So I would absolutely love to have happy hour with her and just sit with the waves and enjoy a nice glass of champagne. And she was a seafood lover. And my God, if she could taste Chef Johnson's clams, your grilled clams, like she would be in such heaven. So that would be like my perfect happy hour with my best friend.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Good happy hours. Yeah. My gosh, I know.
I think it's funny because
I know. It feels like we should go around the world with you all. This is great. And
we all have something that ties us into each other, because I actually have a necklace on that my daughter gave me, and it says "She Believed." And so, I'm tying into wine, she's tying into. So it's a nice little combination with us.
I love it. I'll be down today to enjoy your happy hour, right, Chef Linda.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's a great idea.
I love this. This is what it's about. Happy hours are about connecting, right?
That's right.
And this is it. If we can do it on air, and it gets into in-person meetings and wine is involved, even better. Right. We like that.
Absolutely.
We like that a lot here. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you all joining us, and continued to success to this amazing event. Everyone, go to pacificwineandfood.com. Also remind you that Mary Farah's article is up on blendradioandtv.com. Just type in Pacific Wine and Food Classic. And also you can see it in the November through January issue of Big Blend Radio and TV magazine. Now, I got to give a shout out to the International Food Wine Travel Writers Association. Of course, Diva Linda Kazam, the president, Madam President. I'm just saying, yeah, I know, man. She knows she's had that title of diva, but like we're gonna make her own stamp for Diva approved. Because when she says it's approved, she's the authority, you know. But everyone, the International Food Wine Travel Writers Association, awesome organization. Whether you're a travel writer, a blogger, photographer, cookbook author, a winemaker, if you're a restaurant, a destination, go check it out. Go to their website, ifwtwa.org. I think today is a perfect example of how everyone can communicate and work together to build a responsible tourism economy, which includes food and wine. That was good. I'm going to use that somewhere.
Yeah.
You should run for office.
Yeah.
Diva Linda already has it.
It's a run for happy hour office.
I know. So everyone, again, keep up with Lorena. She's also got awesome articles. Go to travelingsolo.com, and that's SOULO, so travelingsolo.com. Along comes maryblog.com. I'm going to give her a shout out as well. She's awesome. So much fun on our shows before. And also keep up with We Believe Wines. Guess what their website is? WeBelieveWines.com.
There you go.
Okay. And then also keep up with Chef Linda Johnsen over at Filomena's Italian Kitchen and Market in Costa Mesa, FilomenasOC.com. don't know why I keep hesitating. It's right. Filomena's OC, because I see the SOC and it's like Southern California to me. That's what it is.
I know.
Filomena's
yeah,
OC.com. Yeah, no, it's awesome. Thank you all for joining us. Don't forget, listeners, thank you always for joining us for our happy hour shows here on Big Blend Radio. You can keep up with our show schedule. Just go to bigblendradio.com. We air Sunday through Friday, and you can listen as shows go live. You can listen to live broadcasts, and you can listen anytime at your leisure after a show airs. So everywhere, again, it's all up on bigblendradio.com. But we got to close with some music.
Of course.
And we have to play this song because, you know, the Pacific Wine and Food Classic was out on the beach in Newport. So this is one of our favorite beach songs from Southern California. And it's got the blues in it, so we love it even more. This is Johnny Mastro and the Mama's Boys, and this is Ocean Front Walk.
Cool.
Because you got to walk, wine, and eat.
That's right.
And repeat.
Repeat.
Here it is. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you.